All right, welcome ladies to this webinar on 6 figures in 6 months. And how do you go from struggle and overwhelm, which is where many of you might be feeling right now, to a business of ease and high profit. So let's talk about this. Let's dive on in. Now, some of you know who I am, but I saw lots and lots of new names, which I love to see. So you might be thinking, who is this Claire character? So just real quick, that's my husband, Eric, on the left-hand side. There, we live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm actually originally from Long Island. Don't know if we got any New Yorkers on the call, but after graduating college, actually worked in Manhattan for a couple of years as an accountant in the World Trade Center when that was there. Moved on down to the South with a friend of mine. Nothing but a hope and a dream. We didn't know. I've never even visited Raleigh. We didn't have jobs, family, but it just felt like the right thing to do, and it definitely was. Met my husband. Now I've got my parents down here, one of my brothers. And Eric and I, we've been married for 12 years, and there's my son, Dylan, who's 8. He's in 3rd grade. Sounds like I'm getting a little emotional, but I'm not. It is just my voice. But anyway, this is my family, and I'm doing this business for them. I had actually been in the corporate world in training and coaching for, 20-plus years, and then I was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug about 10 years ago. And I was Mary Kay sales director, and it's a fabulous business. It wasn't the business for me. I really felt God saying, Claire, breathe belief and simplify this entire business building process for women all across the United States, not just in your local unit, and regardless of what business they have. I mean, I just had such a deep-seated belief and passion to get back into the home. And one of my like I said, he started that entrepreneurial itch about 10 years ago. My family thought I was crazy. I had a phenomenal job. Right, I was the primary breadwinner. But I went through a major life experience when my sweet son was just born, and it was about 3 months old. I had just gone back to maternity leave, so I was just a week back, and I found it myself. I found a lump. Well, it was more like a baseball, and it was super advanced breast cancer, stage 3C breast cancer. So I started a 1.5 years of treatment, chemotherapy. I was trying to find one of my pictures of me without my hair. It's pretty incredible seeing the difference and the change. But 1.5 years of treatment, and it was just one of the biggest blessings in my life, as crazy as it might sound. I don't know if anyone's gone through an experience like that and knows how it truly can be a blessing, because I have this business because of that. I mean, I just realized, oh my gosh, life is so short, and there are so many women out there that want to be home, or that want to have more freedom, that want to have more time off so they can enjoy, stop and smell the roses and enjoy it. And it is just my passion to help you do that, right? To help your clients experience dramatic transformations and help your families, yourself, profit and to be able to have plenty to spare and share. That's what I want for you, for your families, for your business. And I actually coach women just like you, very, very top, right? Women entrepreneurs who are packaging their time and their expertise to help folks solve problems. So I'm specifically passionate about health coaches, life coaches, money coaches, people that are focused on helping their clients experience transformation, like truly changing their lives, whatever their most pressing problem is that they so desperately want solved, to help them. And to help them get there in the quickest, easiest way. But you see at the bottom here as well, my husband, who had been a high school teacher for 18 years, never thought he would be an entrepreneur, but he is now an entrepreneur. Mid last year, God planted this incredible opportunity on our lap, and that's our video game store, it's a video lounge. So I co-run that with him. I do all the marketing. It's actually been phenomenal to see applying what I do, of course, for my business, what I teach my clients to do for an in-home business, and how it completely is the same as a brick and mortar. Yes, the marketing strategies that I utilize for a brick and mortar, the business is called Gamesters, is different than mine, but the specific marketing strategies, but the concepts are exactly the same. And what it takes to have a six-figure business or a six-figure store is absolutely the same. I'm all about the fundamentals. I'm not about, oh my gosh, the latest and greatest. It's about the fundamentals. It's about a simple business model, doing that consistently. And we have done incredible things with that store. Feel super blessed. we've just owned it since July of 2014, and now we are offering like track out camps. So the kids down here, they go to year-round school, so they're in school all the time. They go like 9 weeks and they're off 3 weeks and go 9 weeks, and so there's always a track that's out. Parents are looking for things to do for their children as they're working. So we offer track out camps, birthday parties, and so it is not only has it blessed our family, but I feel like it really has blessed my business because it's given me, again, the experience on how to run an incredibly successful in-home and brick-and-mortar store. So who is this training for in this specific model that I'm going to be talking about? This is for you if you are that coach or that mentor, that consultant, or that healer who is ready to ramp it up, right? You're like, all right, I made $10,000 in my business last year. I'm ready for $60,000. I'm ready for $80,000. When I say ready to ramp it up, that means you love your craft. You're a phenomenal life coach. You're a phenomenal healer. You're a phenomenal, relationship coach or mentor or consultant. And you've already been working with clients and getting them really good results, but you're just ready to ramp it up. You're ready to get this thing flowing like a well-oiled machine, right? You don't want it to feel like such struggle and overwhelm. You want, again, there to feel more like ease with it. And it's also for you, if you look at that mountain, this is the mountain analogy you're going to hear me talk about, and I talk about with my clients all the time, is that your clients, whatever it is that you're helping, and actually I'd love to hear, go ahead in the chat function and let me know what it is that you help your clients with. Like, what is that transformation? Is it around their health? Is it around their businesses? Is it around their wealth, their relationship, their self-confidence? So go ahead as I'm sharing, and don't be shy. I know you're there. I see your names, so don't be shy. Go ahead and just share a bit as far as how you help people, like what it is about. Is the relationship or money or so. This is for you if you are packaging your time and your expertise to help your clients experience transformations. And when I say transformations, your clients right now are at the base of the mountain, and this mountain looks like Mount Everest to them. All right, it looks super big. Like, let's say it's their health, and they're just struggling. They've gone to doctor after doctor after doctor, and they're struggling. They still feel so bad, and they're like feel like they're tied to medication, and they are desperate and hopeless, and like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to feel better? Like, what is going on? Why do I feel like this? That's what they're asking, and they want to get to the top of the mountain. So if you're about packaging your time and your expertise to help your clients experience transformations, I'm not talking about just giving them information. All right, this model is not for the information model, because information is great, right? Information is readily available. Now, as a society, we do crave information, right? I'm a big believer in utilizing information as a marketing strategy, like this, right? I am educating you right now, completely complimentary. I'm giving away tons of value, but I'm utilizing it as a marketing strategy because some of you never heard of me before, right? And now you've heard of me. You're going to hear my talk today. I'm going to teach you how to build a six-figure practice in 6 months. So I utilize it as a marketing strategy. Now, again, this model is for people who, like, if you think about my clients are at the base of the mountain that ready to ramp it. I call her ready to ramp it up Rhonda. Ready to ramp it up Rhonda. She's a health coach. She's got 2 young kids. She lives in Virginia, different state than me, and she's ready to ramp it up. She's at the base of the mountain. She's like, oh my gosh, it feels like such a struggle to bring in $2,000, $3,000 a month. I don't want this. I feel like I'm working all the time or thinking about it all the time, and I feel like it's more and more time away from my family, and I want to get up there. Claire, I want this business that's a 6-figure practice. I want it with ease, and my goal is to get them there. Right, that's my role, is to help get her there in 6 months. Get her there in the quickest, easiest way. Now, I can't get her there in 1 month, right? And it doesn't need to be 12 months. I can get her there in 6 months. So you be thinking about that. You know, do you have this transformation that you can help clients get to? And it's also for the folks who aren't charging hourly or per session, right? But you're charging for your solution. So when some, like my clients, for example, they don't pay per mentoring call. They've signed up for a solution, right? And I'm not personally satisfied until we get them to the top of that mountain. And that's who this model is for. So enough about me, enough about the model. Let's talk a bit about you. I mean, the fact that you signed up for this, you're probably struggling in bits and pieces of your business. right? But I hope deep in the core you do know that you can do this. I mean, I know in my first years in business, I did believe that I could so do this. I didn't see it. My bank account balance didn't reflect it. People thought I was crazy for leaving a job. They felt like I was working way too much for way too little income. And I can't say that's not how I felt the first year or two, right? When I work, and be helping clients, and then, gosh, at tax time, I'd see the bottom line, and I was like, wow, really? All that for that? You know, and maybe having moments of doubt or just complete overwhelm. And I completely understand. I do. But it doesn't need to be such a struggle. It really doesn't. You know, my personal belief is that you are fabulous at your craft, and that your seed of desire for this business it's not just willy-nilly. You know, it was planted deep in your heart for a reason. And then you absolutely 100% can do this. Absolutely 100% can do it. Okay? Great. I'm seeing what some folks are helping with. Autism. Great. Yeah, getting at the nutritional. Wow, wonderful. Personal well-being, nutrition. Fabulous. So I wholeheartedly believe in you. A lot of times I'll tell my clients that, you know what? I'm going to carry you with belief. I'm going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. But pretty quickly we need them to believe in themselves more, right? It's all about your belief. But I just want to let you know that yeah, this can seem complicated and overwhelming, but oh my gosh, the delights of an in-home business. I mean, the joy of your own business that is built around your family, that's super streamlined, that's highly profitable. You can absolutely do it 100%. All you need is faith. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you're going to be presented with the opportunities, with the tools, with the resources, with the people that can help you get to the top of that mountain. Okay? So never give up. That's the only way you're not going to get to the top of the mountain is if you give up. If you run off that mountain, it's like, get me out of here. So you can get there. Again, you're probably feeling like you're at the base of the mountain right now. Even though you've had success, even though you're good at what you do, you know, there's moments you feel great about your business, and there's moments you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Can I do this? Will it ever get easier? If you have a little heart, you can get there. You can get there. And it takes on average, for those folks who don't give up, it takes on average about 5 years for you to get to be having a solid six-figure business. But that's on average. I don't believe it takes you that long. That's what we're going to be talking about today. How can you build a six-figure practice in 6 months? So let's forget about that 5-year journey, right? Let's get there a heck of a lot quicker. Let's take years off of that journey. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. You're going to discover why you don't have all the money and clients you want, for those who don't. You know, even though you could. And how you can have your dream practice more effortlessly than it probably seems. And what are the mechanics behind a six-figure practice? So you have a steady stream of new ideal clients and consistent high-income months. And how do you run your business like a well-oiled machine? My clients hear me say that all the time. Well-oiled machine. That's what we want. And I'm not this person who's like so structured or, I'm not naturally neat, nothing like that. But I figure out what are those most essential processes in our business. How do we simplify it? How do we automate it? And more is less. Truly, more is less with running a business. We're overcomplicating things, truly. Even like if you think about marketing, I always tell folks did I say more is less? Less is more. Less is more. However, do that less more consistently, and that's what a successful business is all about. All right, so why don't you have all the money and clients you want? All right, I'm not going to tell you that you don't have all the clients and all the money you want. I'm not going to say, well, you just need to work harder, work longer, work more, just gain more experience. You're too new in this. You've only been doing it for a year or two. I'm not going to say create more and more and more. I'm not going to say create info products at every level. Create a product for every single price point. I'm actually not going to say that. That's not my philosophy. My philosophy is about simplicity. I believe anyone who does not have all the clients and the money that they want, the issue is with either our mindset, we don't have a strong profit funnel, or we've got broken systems that are keeping us in overwhelm. That's why. And we're going to talk about all of these things. And let me know which ones you relate to. Do you feel like your mindset, your negative Nelly, your doubts, your self-sabotaging behavior is keeping you stuck, your mindset? Do you feel like you don't have the aspects of a profit funnel, like marketing plan and a keep in touch newsletter, and you're struggling with converting your leads to clients? Or do you feel like you don't really have systems? You're like, broken systems, like what should my systems be? I'm just, flying by the seat of my pants. Now we're going to start with mindset, because what I educate folks on is a strong profit funnel. Yeah, all the above. Great, thank you. I educate people on a strong profit funnel because that's what people want, right? They want to know, well, how do I market, and what's a marketing plan, and how do I get new clients, and they want to know all that. And it's absolutely critical, right? If we don't have a profit funnel, we can't have a six-figure practice. But you see, 80-90% of whether you're going to get those clients and the money that you want, that you desire, is happening between your ears. And it starts with that. Like, this year of 2015, are you saying, I'm assuming a six-figure practice is your goal, again, because that was the title of this webinar. I mean, are you saying that this year I will have a six-figure practice, like it's a done deal? Or you're like, well, it would be nice. Like, are you completely sold on that's what you want? And I'm not saying that's what you need to be wanting. But whatever it is you want, do you believe without a shadow of a doubt that it is a done deal? And I could tell you, for most women, our mindset's mighty shaky. Our negative Nelly's really loud. We are going in circles because our mindset is not strengthened. And I can have two people, let's say two health coaches, and I've worked with both of them on getting a profit funnel up and running, right? So they've got a fabulous offer, it's priced well, it's described wonderfully on their site, their website's phenomenal, the website's a lead generator, right? They got their marketing plan up and running, they're keeping in touch, they're consistently blogging and sending out a newsletter, they've got the whole kit and caboodle. Yet one is flourishing and one is staying stuck. So what would be the difference? It would be their mindset. That person who believes without a shadow of a doubt this is a done deal. They don't need to know how it's going to, how to do it all yet. They just have that belief, that deep-seated belief that it's a done deal. And if they just keep putting one foot in front of the other, that they're going to get there. So let's focus there on your mindset. So, because the truth is, a lack of money or lack of clients is not a circumstance. It's not a circumstance that, well, I've only been in business for a year, or well, I'm only working this part-time, or my clients aren't paying, or it's the result of your mindset. I know it might hurt a bit, and mindset was not something that I learned or dived into when I first started my business. I was only focused on the technical aspects of it, because you, me, we are the reason for our results or the lack of results. And it all comes from our belief. So this comes from a fabulous book. It's called Ask and It Is Given by it's a husband and wife. Their last name is Hicks. And ask yourself, you can really tell what it is you're allowing into your space by how you're feeling, your emotions. And I can tell you that, I'm sure you've heard of, law of attraction, and I was not one to jump on the bandwagon, if you would. I really needed to figure out the truth for myself as a super strong Christian, and so I've been on this journey for the last year and a half, and I fully, wholeheartedly believe that we can tell what it is that we're allowing, saying yes to, because these opportunities for us are unlimited. There are so many people out there that need your help. So I don't know if you ever get into that space of like competition. Like, oh my gosh, there's other consultants that do what I do, or oh my gosh, there's other health coaches, like why would they choose me? Or think about me. There's 50 zillion coaches, right? So you get out of that space and ask yourself when you're going throughout the day, how are you feeling? And specifically now, we're talking about how you're feeling about your business and the future. And if your goal is a six-figure practice this year, the business that you're creating, are you feeling emotions of just like faith? This is a done deal, trust, joy. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Look at this. Are you spending time in this left-hand side? Are your emotions there? Or are you spending the majority of your time on the right-hand side where you're like worried, oh my gosh, where am I going to find these clients? Am I going to have enough money to pay the bills? Fear, oh my gosh. And when we're hanging on the right-hand side, we're not going to get what we want. And I know it's easier said than done when we're in the moment of fear, being like, but Claire, you don't get it. I mean, I need the money to pay, to stay in this house. I do understand. And I understand that it's not a quick fix. It's not something we do overnight. But working on your mindset, I believe, is one of the most enjoyable things ever. And it will have the biggest impact on you creating this business of your dreams. So check out that book, Asking Is Given. And when you find yourself on the emotions on the right-hand side, you just shift it. You get really good at seeing your dream practice and what it's going to feel like when you get there, what it's going to feel like to work your practice, what it's like to get these clients easily, the type of clients you're working with and how joyous that's going to be, and the changes you're making in their life and the transformations they're experiencing, and you see that. Because again, there is a limitless supply. But that's not what I'm hearing from many women. I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing things that it is limited. I'm going to mute it for a second. That there's just not enough clients, or there's not enough people who are investing, or there's a limitless supply. There is plenty of clients and money for all, truly. But there are self-imposed limits. So I said it's limitless supply, but there are self-imposed limits. So have you ever found yourself saying these things? My clients won't pay for this. They have no money. My clients won't invest in themselves. I don't like to sell. Gosh, who do I think I am anyway to do this? Am I equipped? I just need to learn more. I don't know enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I'm too disorganized or too whatever. Fill in the blank for that. So are you imposing these limits? And whatever you say, whether it comes out of your mouth or you think it, your deep-seated belief, it fuels that. And it's going to believe it. And it's going to make that your reality. That, you're going to keep coming across clients who can't pay for it. And many times I think we feel like, well, it's just because I haven't experienced that yet. I feel like once I get there, once I start bringing in, $8,000, $10,000 a month, then I'll believe. But it's not seeing is believing. It's believing is seeing. You'll get there when you believe it's absolutely possible. So that's huge, these self-imposed limits. And that's why you don't have all the money and clients that you want. So what can you do about it? Like, how can you have your dream practice with just the right amount of money and just the right amount of clients? First of all, to know what you want. It shocks me sometimes it shocks me, yet it doesn't, because I find this sometimes for myself, because my desires, when the reality of life changes, my desires change. But know what you want and hold tight to that. Like, I'm going to ask you, if there were no limitations or no negative consequences, what would your ideal, perfect, average workday look like next year? And this is a day like Groundhog's Day. You can live over and over and over again and you would not get bored. So again, no limitations, no negative consequences. What time are you waking up? What's your morning like? What's your morning routine? Are you in the house that you're currently at or another house? Did you buy your beach house finally? When do you start working? And where are you working? Is it at home? Is it at a different office space? Are you physically going somewhere? What type of clients are you working with, and how are you working with them? You know, in person, in groups, over the phone. And then how long do you work? Like, what does that day look like? How are you wrapping things up? When I see my day, it's just a day of ease, like truly. I mean, I'm super productive, but it's a day of ease. And I get so good at seeing that day over and over and over again. I actually have it recorded as an audio. And I paint in such detail what the day is going to be like. And I listen to it as part of my morning routine that I do. And I have a morning routine I do 7 days a week. And it's actually recently been tweaked, but I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the book called The Miracle Morning. But it is a phenomenal book. And if you've never read it, read it. Check it out. It is phenomenal. But this is one of the biggest, quickest, fastest ways to start strengthening your mindset. And you then spend more of your emotions on that left-hand side of that column. Remember this column here? Where you're like in positive expectation and, oh my gosh, this excitement. Oh, this is wonderful. Happiness. And when you get really good at seeing that over and over again, whenever you do, if you do flip to the right-hand side and there's this instant fear that pops up, oh my gosh, you know, look at my bank account balance, oh my gosh, you quickly shift to the left-hand side. You see it over and over and over again. I don't know if any of you have a habit like this, where you're strengthening your mindset. And if you do, there's no doubt that you're going to get where you want to go. No doubt. But I could tell you that only about 3% of our population in general, I think it's probably a little bit higher with women entrepreneurs, but generally about 3% of people take and implement information, actually make the changes. 97% hear something like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, one day I'll do that. One day I'll record my perfect day. You know, one day I'll have a morning routine, and we don't do it. So I don't know if you're in that 3% or if you're in that 97%. So ask yourself that. Another thing, as you're thinking about your perfect ideal day, I think it's so important to set it up right from the beginning. And those of you who've been running your business for years, you can just start making some of these shifts that your business, that sweet spot where it is going to feel like ease, is when you have it in alignment, right? Where it is built around your family. When I say your family, it's also built around your big rocks in your life. You know, those things that are so important to you, time to work out, time to do this, time to do that, time to volunteer. It's built around that. And that you do have it streamlined so it's not taking over your life. And it is highly profitable. Again, where you have plenty to spare and share. You can be the most generous people in the world. I know as heart-based entrepreneurs, that's what we want. So let's get our business up and running and off life support so you can be that giver that you want to be. So when I mention this, like when you're talking about your most perfect ideal day, remember I said no limitations. So sometimes people might be thinking, well, you know, I really only want to work during the day, but, you know, maybe I'll work nights and weekends because it'll probably be better for my clients, and, you know, I don't want to turn people away. I would just encourage you to really think about that. Now, you might like to work nights and weekends, or it might not bother you when you work. That's different. But what is it that's going to make you happy? Like for me, I don't work nights and weekends. I don't have coaching calls nights and weekends. I don't even offer webinars nights and weekends. It's all during the day, right? While Dylan's at school. That's my sweet spot. The sooner you can get your business aligned with your sweet spot, the quicker you're going to get where you want to go. And it might sound so counterintuitive that by you putting more boundaries around your business and around your ideal business, how it's actually going to tremendously impact your bottom line. And again, I acknowledge, like I said, that it might sound so counterintuitive. But trust me, when we're trying to be all things to all people, when we are running ragged, when we're not even filling our own bucket, how the heck are we going to help our clients get transformations, right? How are we going to help them get transformations when we're struggling? So how do you quicken your path up the mountain, right? You want this dream practice. And like I shared, you guys are going up this mountain, right? And for some of you, it might seem like this Mount Everest. You're at this base and you want this practice of ease. Well, first it's strengthening your mindset. We got that truck, you got to clear out that gunk. We have so much gunk in our subconscious mind. I had no idea that I had such negative thoughts about money. And what shocked me was because I felt like we always had money, and we were never rich, but we always had money, pay for college and vacations. But as I was going on this journey myself, and I was doing this exercise, I went to this workshop, and we were writing down words that came to our mind when we thought of wealth and rich people. And I was writing down greedy, greedy, obnoxious, selfish. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know I thought that. I mean, so I have completely changed. Now I think of wealth as, generosity, as pointing to spare and share. So can you imagine when I was thinking these negative thoughts I didn't even realize about money? Oh my gosh, was I undercharging? Yes. Was I getting a little resentful for that? Yes. Was I working with people who were unideal because my investment to work with me was so low? Yes. So we've got to figure out a way to clear out whatever that gunk is that's holding us back, strengthening our mindset. So again, finding some type of morning routine where you start changing your beliefs deep in the core so they really are aligned with what you say you want. See, we say we want one thing, but our underlying beliefs are different. And when they're not in alignment, our results are pretty poor. We get some results, but they're nowhere near where we want them to be. So that's the first thing. Another thing to quicken your path up the mountain is to know, you see that roller coaster, acknowledge that growing a business is a roller coaster. It truly is. We don't always know if something's going to work or not. We just put one foot in front of the other. And there's going to be days of highs. There's going to be days of sometimes what I call entrepreneurial funk. And we just keep going forward. So knowing that it is messy, but it's one of the best rides of our life. So becoming comfortable with that messiness is super important. And when you're ready to ramp it up, find one expert to hold your hand and get you up that mountain. I do feel like there's so many experts out there, and they're great, right? And I think it is important to hear different people's perspectives and their thoughts. And so I am a firm believer in that, and listen to different people's webinars and get their free stuff and do that, and even work with some folks. But when you're really ready to put it all together, because sometimes what happens is, we're learning from so many people, which again I think is great. I think there's wonderful benefit in that variety, and you sort of pick what feels right and you don't pick what doesn't feel right. But then we end up sort of with this hodgepodge mess, right, where we got bits and pieces, but it doesn't fit into this cohesive puzzle. And that's where generally Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda is, right? She's got some things going on. She does. She's just ready to put it all together in one cohesive puzzle. So that's how you can quicken your path up the mountain. And now let's talk about the mechanics, right? Because again, that was all about mindset. That you can have all the money and clients you want, and it's about figuring out how to strengthen that mindset and knowing what does that dream practice even look like for you. So if you haven't done that activity, again, definitely do that. And again, sorry, my voice is sounding like Kermit. The more we go on, I'm just going to pause for a second and just take a sip of tea. Okay, so let's talk about the mechanics behind a six-figure practice for a steady stream of new clients and consistent high-income months. So let's dive on in. So what does it take for a six-figure practice? It takes a strong profit funnel. And the reality is most businesswomen do not have a funnel. they don't have the 3 core pieces of a profit funnel. And we don't have all 3, the leads just aren't, we're not getting enough money. There's not enough profit at the end of that funnel. There's not enough sales that are being made. So it's important to get all the parts up and running consistently. So I'll show you what that is. And it's about having this high-level transformational offer. That's how you can get a 6-figure practice, is that you get so good at getting your clients up that mountain in the quickest, easiest way. And it's about keeping more and more of the profits. So many folks, the money's coming in, but it's going right out. And it's creating such stress. Their business is built on, on a deck of cards. So a 6-figure practice, hopefully there's a sense of relief in it, that it's about fundamentals. It's not about fads. It's not about doing what everyone else is doing, the latest and the greatest. Again, less is more when it comes to building a solid 6-figure practice. So here's a streamlined profit funnel. I'm going to tell you what the 3 parts are. Let me get my little pen here. Okay, the first top part of your funnel. Now, ultimately, think about, we want lots and lots of our ideal dream client. That dream client is going to do what we ask them to do, right? Who we're confident we can get them phenomenal results because of, who they are and what their circumstances are, and that they're going to do what we ask them to do. So we want lots of them coming into our funnel. And we do that through knowing, first of all, who our ideal client is. Like I mentioned, Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda. So my marketing plan, you need a marketing plan. My marketing plan is all built around Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda. So it's not about attracting all types of women business owners, right? I talked about specifically working with health coaches, life coaches, coaches, consultants, mentors. And I think about Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda and where she's hanging out, online and offline, where she's open to hearing my message. So my marketing plan, and I recommend just three core strategies to do consistently to get more Ready to Ramp It Up Rhondas to hear about Claire Luffman. So for you, how can you get your ideal client to hear about you and to come into your funnel? So for me, my 3 strategies are, 1 is live networking, and I lead my own networking group where I get surrounded by Ready to Ramp It Up Rhondas about once a week. And I get so many clients from that. And friends, it's just phenomenal. I love networking. I'm not part of 8 groups, right? I'm only part of, actually, my main group, which is, again, we meet weekly. Well, our main thing, we meet 2 times a month, and then we get together once a month for coffee and once a month for wine. And then my other strategy is that Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda is in front of Google, and she's typing things, like how to find more clients, which email system to use. Like, she's typing in questions. So I want to have an online presence. So I want to be blogging and blogging consistently and having my blog set up where it's SEO friendly. So that's my second strategy, is that she's online. So that also includes then on Facebook and Twitter. So she's online. My third strategy is giving away content, like I'm doing now, a webinar, a live in-person workshop. So it's live networking, it's online networking, and it is giving away content. So this is critical. Having a marketing plan, generally 3 core strategies, where you can meet lots and lots of your ideal client. And then having a couple of those strategies, or a couple of ways to do what I call these rinse and repeat strategies, where, there are strategies that are drip strategies, meaning, like, I'm going to have people that are going to come to my website slowly but surely and opt into something, right? A free gift I have, so she gets into my funnel. Or I meet her at a networking event, right? And just bit by bit at small numbers. But then you've got some, what I call, open up the floodgate, like a webinar, okay? So let's say a webinar, you've got, 50, 60, 100, 200 people signing up for your webinar. That's a bigger surge, if you will, of people into your funnel. So I always want to have 1 to 2 of those big surges a month in my business. So this part is absolutely critical. of a strong profit funnel. The next thing is these people who signed up for a webinar, for a free talk. She came to my networking meeting and she said, yes, I'd love to be hearing from you and receive your training newsletter. I then keep in touch. For me, it's more of your traditional email networking, right? I mean, email newsletter, weekly. Yours doesn't need to be like that. It can be 2 a month. It can be really simple. But what's your keep in touch strategy? So many people don't have this. So all their hard work in marketing, these people, their ideal clients, whoop, slip through the holes. They slip through the cracks, and they don't become new clients because we did not keep in touch. So it's absolutely critical we keep in touch. And then we're converting them to clients. So we want that irresistible offer, that offer that our clients are like, really? You can help me with that? Really, Claire? You can help me get a 6-figure practice in 6 months? Let's do it, right? And you've got a way to convert folks to clients. So, and easy. Like for me, my conversion mechanism, because it's not like $100 to work with me, right? It's a little more than that. So just sending them to a sales page and saying buy now wouldn't work. Plus, because I'm pretty particular about my clients, I only want to take on clients that I'm confident I can get up the mountain and that I want to help get up the mountain, right? I want to invest 6 months of my life with. So I do it through a sales conversation, which isn't selly. It's actually sometimes, many times in sales conversations, I don't even present the offer. It's just a value add conversation. And I find out where they're at, where they want to be. We talk about the possibilities, how they can get their business there, give them some ideas. And then if I feel like my offer, my solution would help them get where they want to go, then I extend the offer. So this is a profit funnel, and it doesn't, I mean, it obviously takes a bit of time to get it up and running. You've got to figure out who your ideal client is, how you're going to attract them, what your marketing plan is. But you can get this up and running in a couple of months. Truly, you can get that up and running in a couple of months. So you need a profit funnel. And then I talked about this high-level transformational offer. So be thinking about that. I want your wheels turning when you're done with this webinar. If you can get so good at helping your client with their most pressing need. People are saying, I want a 6-figure practice of ease. How do I do that? And if I can walk them up that mountain, people are paying for that, right? They're paying for that solution. They're not paying for my time or my information. They're paying for me to help them get to the top of the mountain. Now, I didn't always think like this. Like when I first was coaching, it was more coaching. Like we would talk about whatever was the most on their mind, right? And then I went to like more group programs where it was more about information. I was teaching them the concepts, teaching them how important it is, let's say, to have an offer that people are opting into and getting on their email list. We weren't actually doing it, right? I didn't like hold them accountable, help them, roll up my sleeves, and let's create the offer. Let's get the logistics set up for you so it's working, right? So my business has evolved, but you do not need to wait a number of years before you have this transformational offer. It just takes some sitting down, getting super creative about what that can be, and getting them there again the quickest, easiest way. Like I said, I can't get somebody from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month, generally speaking, in a month working with them, right? But again, it doesn't need to take a year. It doesn't need to take a year-long program or 9 months. So if you had a cast, right, or you broke your arm and the doctor says, well, we can do this in 2 months or we can do this in 6 months, what do you want? You'd be like, 2 months. So throw out all of what you've historically thought that how long your program should be. I mean, be thinking about those results, or that solution should be. Be thinking about the results and think about how you can get them there in the quickest, easiest way. And get so creative. Make it so irresistible to your ideal client. Now, starting in March, my business, the way that I'm doing my mentoring is different. It's being up-leveled again. And I have made this mentoring package has my ideal client written all over it. Like, she is like, what? Are you kidding me? So think outside the box. What I'm going to be doing is I'm only going to be working with a group of three women at a time who are, coaches, mentors, healers, who have the same type of business, who are ready to ramp it up. So I'm giving her that opportunity, again, getting really creative. We're in a group of three. She's going to feel like she's getting such one-on-one attention, right? She feels like she's got this business partner, this cheerleader, this mentor by her side. But she also has the benefit of going through it with two other women. 3 women going through this together plus me. That's phenomenal. And again, thinking outside the box. Now, in this mentoring package, I am their one-stop shop. The way we've redesigned it, it's just, again, rolling out this month in March. We've redesigned it. So if they need their website tweaked or created from scratch, done. They have access to the web designer, part of the package. They have access to my virtual assistant. Let's say they don't have a newsletter up and running. You want to get a newsletter up and running and get a really pretty template and get that sent out. Great. The virtual assistant will do that for them. Or an SEO expert. Give them their blessing on, yes, these are the keywords for you. Yes, this is how you make a blog post SEO optimized. Yes, this is how you make a video, YouTube video SEO optimized. They have access to a marketing processes expert. So once we figure out what their marketing strategies are, that the expert actually works with them, and they will have essentially their checklist of things to be doing daily, weekly, monthly. I'm so beyond helpful. An editor, we'd be crafting pages for their website, right? Their sales pages and their about me pages, and so having access to that editor and copywriter. Now, that's, again, not something I started doing out of the gate. And even with my current mentoring, they did have access to a website designer and virtual assistant. I've added these other things, part of my solution going forward. So again, you can see how you can get really creative here. Because I know that with access to my team, we can get them to the top of the mountain. And they also get a free ticket to every 90 days we're doing a live in-person working retreat. It's going to be called Get Her Done. So they're going to come and be able to get their marketing created and set up, set it and forget it for the upcoming 3 months. Get their videos recorded and edited, maybe get their headshots taken. They're going to get their social media posts scheduled from the virtual assistants. The copywriter is going to be editing, their newsletters. They're going to be able to get it done. So hopefully, again, your wheels are turning where you could see, ooh, we can really get creative. It doesn't necessarily need to be just your time and your expertise. Remember, your focus is you want to get as many people up the mountain successfully. I can tell you when you do that, you just keep getting better and better and better at it. Like, again, this is my mentoring solution 2.0, right, that I'm rolling out. But it's phenomenal as it is. It's just going to get better and better and better. Because, ladies, when you get people up to the top of that mountain and you've gotten them that solution they're hungry for, guess what? Marketing's a breeze because they're standing at the top of the mountain, they're turning around, they're shouting, oh my gosh, you need to work with Wendy. Oh my gosh, you need to work with Julie. Oh my gosh, you need to work with Chris. They're doing the marketing for you. So it's in your best interest to make it as easy as possible for them to get up that mountain in the quickest, easiest way. And again, to make it as easy as possible for them to do it. So they're not like running off the hill or no longer following your advice or working with you. That's going to do no one any good. You didn't get them the transformation, and you're not going to have that person on the top of the rooftop shouting. And ladies, you can get to the point where it's all about the transformation for you, not the money. Like, again, where you're very particular about who you work with, right? Because you are personally committed to getting them to the top of the mountain, and you're going to get known for that. The money, of course, is going to get there because the money is going to be there. I'm not saying we're not doing it for, to get paid as well, but you're all about the transformation. You're putting a stake in the ground and saying, I am going to be known as the woman who gets these types of results for people. I'm going to be known as the woman who can get your practice from struggling to 6 figures. Okay? So we can get really creative about that because let's look at the math. So for a 6-figure practice, let's say $8,500 a month, right? That just pushes you over the six-figure mark, 102,000. So if you can give them such a transformation, such an incredible transformation, let's say 3,000, that's not, for your time, it's for that solution. Your clients are like, yes, you can get me there, great, let's do it. They're so hungry for that. So 3 clients a month, that pushes you over that, right? That's 9,000, and that's just 3 clients a month. And what I love about this transformational offer, it's such a simple business model, right? You don't need any big launches. You don't need 20 people in the program. It's not stress. It's just the fundamentals, right? You consistently have people coming into your funnel that you're building a relationship with, that are reaching out and having a conversation with you, that are becoming clients. And one of the wonderful things about it is it causes us to up our game. I could tell you 2 years ago, let's say, and clients, they gave me fabulous feedback. I mean, I'm still friends, especially the ones here in Raleigh, friends with my clients. And they're wonderful to me. They're always like, oh my gosh, Claire, you're fabulous, you're fabulous. But you know what? Was I giving them that transformation? No. I was giving them information. Even last year, information. And now, as I'm transitioning the mentoring from what it currently is until March, do you think that's going to make me up my game? Yeah. I'm committed. I'm all in. I'm like, all right, how do we get my client greater results in the quickest, easiest way? How do we shift this? How do we change it? It causes us to up our game. And that's why I say it's not about the money. It's not about, wouldn't want someone to sign up for something and not use it, right? That would kill me. That breaks my heart. So that's why I only work with people that are going to do it, right? Especially when I'm going to be super particular about those 3 women that I work with a month in that one mentoring circle. But what a blessing. It's going to up our game, ladies. It makes us better at helping our clients. So again, imagine becoming known as that person to get people results. That's truly what this is all about. Lastly, keeping more profit, right? So many businesses are just a couple of bad months away from bankruptcy, truly. Even that person you see on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine. And because people just dig their head in the sand. So I'm going to encourage you to read this book, Profit First. It is phenomenal. No more feast or famine. No more having way too much going out. No more feeling like way too little is coming in. It's a phenomenal book. I read at the end of last year, and I just actually became certified because I believe it's so important for my ladies to not only know how to bring that profit into their business, but how to keep that profit, right? How to grow that, how to have plenty to spare and share. So read that book. It's a phenomenal book. Now, accounting, again, is my background, but don't worry. It's written for laymen. It was not a boring book because I do not, it's not a boring book. It's phenomenal. Profit First. Okay. So that's what it takes for a 6-figure practice, right? That profit funnel, all 3 parts up and running consistently, a high-level transformational offer, and keeping more and more of the profit. Last but not least, we want that profit funnel running like a well-oiled machine. So it's all about how our processes, right? How we manage our time and our calendar and our stuff and our repetitive tasks. So time and calendar is so much simpler than we think, but it's lots of little behavioral changes. It's creating the ideal schedule, knowing when you're going to work around you decide a schedule that brings you joy, that feels like, a schedule of ease. It's about having what I call a weekly sanity meeting. The beginning part of my week, Monday mornings, 9 to 11, I get sane. I get caught up, wrap up the prior week, get my emails down to 0, get a really good idea of what's going on in the upcoming week. And it saves me so much time, energy, productivity. It's about working on the most important things versus the most urgent things. I could tell you that when I am too responsive, like too on top of Facebook and email, I'm doing no one any good. I'm actually so much less productive versus just going in there and checking, my emails and my Facebook 2 times a day, between 11 and 12 and between 3 and 4. And that's it, not nights and weekends. Because again, when I find myself slipping, I am doing no one any good. Like, it is so detrimental, truly. So you're not being selfish by putting these boundaries around your time and about enjoyable routines. Like I said, I love the way I start my morning. Little routines like when I start my day on my office, putting away any miscellaneous papers and working on a very important task for that good hour, that good solid hour from 9 to 10. And in doing that before I'm getting into emails and Facebook, because, again, it's really difficult to have a business of ease when we're responding. You'll have plenty of time to respond. Imagine, again, just 2 times, 2 hours a day. There's plenty, because that's your focus, right? You're doing it, you're in, you're out, you're responding, you get out. Ladies, you get so much more done. And again, these boundaries around your time, like I said, being too responsive is really counterproductive, truly. So our stuff, I don't know if any of you feel organized or disorganized, but I'm a big believer in David Allen's Getting Things Done. He has a phenomenal book called Getting Things Done. And I'm a firm believer. I followed the Getting Things Done philosophy back when I was in corporate at the law firm and here for my own business. And again, it's about processing emails, not keeping emails in your email inbox that you just mark as unread or flag. It is zapping so much of your creativity and joy, and it's just taking up so much time and mental clutter. Now, I don't get my emails down to 0 every day, because there are some days where I'm just back to back to back, back to back to back calls, and so it's at least during my weekly review meeting that I'm getting my emails down to 0. And, getting current at least weekly, meaning like all the miscellaneous papers that I've collected, business cards, receipts. So I get current during my weekly review meeting. Ooh, my voice is starting to give. I'm, again, sounding like Kermit. So again, I process that stuff during weekly sanity meeting. Like I said, I'm not naturally organized. So by the end of the week, I've gathered a lot of stuff. So I just throw it in a physical inbox. That's it. Just gather it all, put it in a big pile, and then just go through it bit by bit. And when I say process, you'll learn what David Allen says. His philosophy. I'll process it, meaning I'll pick it up. Do I need to do anything with this or not? If not, I throw it out, recycle, file it. Or, yes, I need to do something. And what do I need to do, and when am I going to do it? And I get that on my list. So it's real important that we do manage our stuff and that we just have a simple process. It doesn't need to be like everyone else. It's just something that we're consistent with. When I can say consistent, I always say, consistency is more about doing things 80% of the time, right? 20% of the time, life's going to happen. We just feel off. Whatever. If you're processing your stuff, you're doing your weekly review meetings 80% of the time, ladies, the sky is the limit, truly, truly. And then our repetitive tasks. There's not too many tasks that you do, but there's tasks that you do. Like, right, when you get a new client, what do you do? What are all the steps when you get a new client? Or with your marketing, if you're going to do a webinar, what are all the steps you do? So anytime you go through something, just capture it. Like, get it down on paper. What's the first thing you do? And the next thing, and a lot of times what I like to do is use a free recorder called Jing. You can just Google that, J-I-N-G, and it allows me to take a video of my computer walking through those steps and how to walk through the process once. And then there's specific parts of it that I'm asking my virtual assistant to do. So she's got the checklist and she's got the how-to video, and she takes it from there. Because when you've got the process down on paper, you can really analyze it and see, okay, how can I streamline it? How can I make it work better? What can I automate? What can I outsource? And then last but not least, part of running like a well-oiled machine is every 3 months, I reassess how things are going. And I ask myself these 4 questions. First, I say, okay, is there anything I've been procrastinating on or that that's been nagging at me? So jot that down. That's the first question I ask. And I write down anything I feel like I've been procrastinating on or been nagging at me. Then I take a look at my profit funnel, the top, middle, and bottom, and either, you're thinking you just need to get it up and running, or I have it up and running. But even though I have it up and running, there's always ways I can perfect it, streamline it, right? So I just strategize, how can I make my profit funnel stronger? The third thing is, which of my work habits are tripping me up? Any places that things have slipped a bit, it's keeping me away from a six-figure practice. And the last thing is, where are my time and energy drains? Where I'm like, oh my gosh, I so don't want to do this. I know I need to do my receipts, but I don't want to do my receipts. Or there's got to be a better way to do this. If you're asking yourself that, there is a better way to do this. And if it's such a drain, it would make so much more sense for someone else to do it. And I've got a phenomenal virtual assistant, if anyone's looking for a virtual assistant. She is phenomenal. So I ask myself when I brainstorm these 4 columns, and then from there I create my plan for the upcoming 3 months. About 4 to 6 projects from this, from my brainstorming. I'm pretty clear on what to focus on to continue to keep bringing my business to the next level. And I say 4 to 6, but I generally like to have about 2 projects a month, 2 in January, 2 in February, 2 in March, to get me where I want to go. So that's a bit about how to get your business running like a well-oiled machine, because ladies, you can have all the money and clients you want. You can have your dream practice. You can have the mechanics of a six-figure practice up and running. So you have a steady stream of new ideal clients and consistent high-income months, absolutely 100%. And you can have your business running like a well-oiled machine. So you can achieve more in less time. So I believe in you, and I'd love to finish this conversation. If you and I haven't chatted before, I'd love to talk offline. Let's dig deeper into your business. Let's find out where you're at, how close or far you are from the six-figure practice or from your dream practice. Let's talk about where you want to go, and let's brainstorm some ways to help you get there. So I'd love to talk. I don't have unlimited time to talk. So sort of first come, first serve. Go ahead and go to talkwithclaire.com and just let me know a little bit about you. And I'd love for us to hop on the phone. Completely, casual, no obligation. It's like one of my greatest joys. I love it. I love talking with another businesswoman, breathing belief into her, helping her see what's possible, giving her some ideas. So definitely do that, because, I'd love to help you get where you want to be, where you do have a strong mindset, where you do have a strong profit funnel. You do have six-figure systems for more ease and more time freedom. And I'd love just to forget about that 5-year journey. You don't need to be the norm. It doesn't need to take you 5 years. Let's cut off years and years of that process. So again, go to talkwithclaire.com and let's chat. We'll pray that my voice is normal by then, so I don't have this complete itch and froggy voice. But would love to talk, because again, way too many people are giving up on their business. Way too many people are taking the hard way. Way too many people feel like, again, they have this jumbled mess, where again, great progress they're proud of, but again, these pieces that just don't all fit together for the super streamlined profit funnel. So ladies, again, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for bearing with my my raspy, itchy voice. I so appreciate it. And wonderful. Yes, you're welcome. And feel free. I see one question I'm going to hang on to answer. But the rest of you, just thank you so much for your time. I'll go ahead and send out the recording via email, and just let me know how I can help. I'd love to help you get to the top of that mountain. Absolutely. Yes, and there was a question about the virtual assistant. So when I send out the recording, I will make sure to include Megan's contact information. So I'll definitely do that, Julie. She's phenomenal. And sometimes it's hard to find that right virtual assistant. Now, one of the questions I got emailed in, so again, thank you so much. I'm going to hang on for some questions. One of the questions I got emailed in was about, information and selling information that people are going to want. And when there's so much free information out there. And you're right. there is so much free information out there. Not that information still can't sell, because it can. It's a bit harder than many business owners think. It's easier to sell info products when you've got a huge list, right? Because it's a small percentage of people who are buying it, but when you've got a huge list, that can be very, very profitable. And information products was all the rage, even just a couple of years ago. Truly, I'm going to mute it for 1 second so I can cough. It was all the rage. Now, that's not my passion. Though my passion is, again, about transformations, because people want information, but 97% aren't doing anything with the information. So for those of you that have that heart being like, you know what, that kills me. I don't want someone just to buy this and me make the money and then not do anything with it. So that's why I do love this simplistic model of this high-end offer. You're helping transform people's lives. Super profitable. So much easier than an info business. Trust me. 3 clients a month that you're going to transform their lives? I mean, can you see that? So let me see this question over here. The nature of my business products is on the order of $100 per month per client. So many more clients needed for 6 figures. Is this, so you're selling products, Wendy, versus like a transformation versus you personally helping them, holding their hand and changing their lives? So just let me know your answer to that, Wendy. Because, yeah, when you get pen to paper, like one of my clients, she's a massage therapist, so she sells more, it's per session or per hour. So my recommendation generally is, get your practice, your per session or per hour, up to your peace of mind number. Peace of mind, right? So you get some pen to paper and be like, okay, I've had this many clients at this amount. That's great, right? And then you get your business up to that level. And there are ways, though, even with when it's hourly or per session, you can have a 6-figure business. You either increase your rates, right? And not just increase your rates, add more value, right? Help them more. There's so many things that we're able to do that doesn't cost us a lot, but it adds so much value to that package that they're getting. Or maybe she can bring on another therapist, another healer, or maybe at some point, why couldn't she be, if she has a desire, why couldn't she be a Claire for massage therapist? Then she can truly have a $3,000 offer. When she's gotten her business where her practice is thriving, she teaches other massage therapists. Again, if it's her passion. So Wendy, yes, but also part of helping them transform. Okay. Well, if you're helping them transform and it's a transformation that they're hungry for, could you use your products as part of the solution? Many of my clients that are health coaches, they're helping their clients, their health, like truly transform their health. And products are just part of the way to do that, right? So like part of the way to help you guys get to the top of the mountain is some of you need a website or need your website redesigned so it works for you, right? Or need the copy in your website to be adjusted, or need a virtual assistant. Yeah, those are people to help you get up that journey. It's just like a product is, right? It's like, how can I help this person get to the top of the mountain? Are there some how-to videos they can watch? Like what resources, what tools, what people? So Wendy, there could definitely be a way to see your business as where it's not so much a product business, it's a transformation, and you get so good, let's say, and there has to be a vision of how those products can replace what they have now. Yeah, and it might be a product business where, maybe it's a totally different model, right? It's more of a direct selling network marketing model where you get more of that the higher end income from building a team. That might be the case, right? But yeah, see, this again is all about the transformation. So what is that transformation that the product? It is an MLM. Okay. Yep. Gotcha, Wendy. So then it's sort of a different model, right? Your focus is how your business can bring on more and more money. excuse me, is building a team. But I have found so many people, life coaches, health coaches, that have actually branded themselves and are helping clients get transformations, and they have an MLM business or a direct sales business. Again, they could running it totally different than a typical MLM or typical direct sales, right? They're branding themselves. They're the solution. They're going to help the client get there. And again, if you even think about my holistic doctor, she's getting me up this journey of healing, even though it doesn't sound like it today, but she is. She's got products, right, that she gets at half off, and then she sells to me these supplements. But that's just part of the solution, right? So I don't see her as having a product business. I see her as she is healing me. And how she gets me there, I'm less concerned about her than the top of the mountain and what it's going to look like and feel like when I get to the top of the mountain. So hopefully that helped a bit. Let me see if there's any other questions. Could I see the slides again somewhere? Well, I'm going to go ahead and send all this out. So I've recorded this. You'll be able to see all the slides. You can fast forward. You can rewind. You could do whatever you like. Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. All right. I think we're good with questions. So again, ladies, thank you so much for hanging on with me, and so appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. Again, we'll get the recording out later today with the slides and all. And thank you guys. And you guys have a great, great day. Cheering you on. Bye.